Oh,
We're live.
okay, great.
Good afternoon, everybody. Peter and Nicola here from the apartment company. So this is our second lettings meeting, catch up, if you like, just to update our landlords, our tenants, in terms of what's going on in the market. Hi, Nicola.
Hi, Peter. How are you doing?
I'm pretty good, thanks. Pretty good. Well, I've been running around. You've been keeping me busy all afternoon with letting appointments, as you know. So, yeah, so really today we've got just a few subjects to sort of touch on. We'll keep it quite short and brief, but I think for those people out there wondering what's going on in the market, the first question, Nicola, is what is the lettings confidence like at the moment from a tenant and landlord perspective?
From a landlord perspective, I think landlords are a little apprehensive, but overall confidence is much higher than it was, say, even 2 weeks ago. The demand is there. There isn't the pressure on the downward pressure, if you like, on rents. And from a tenant's point of view, there is a good selection of properties out there, but there are also a lot of applicants who are looking. So prospective tenants, the demand on the properties that are coming to the market is significantly higher than it was even, say, 4 weeks ago. I think the lifting of the lockdown restrictions and allowing the removals, the moving market, the housing market to start moving again has definitely picked up confidence, and people definitely are moving.
Yeah, absolutely. So just for the viewers, in terms of new inquiries, tenant inquiries on a daily basis,
we're looking, we're receiving certainly in excess of 30 inquiries a day across a mix of our properties. So, we're seeing, high level of inquiries coming in, which obviously means that, there's a demand on the properties we've got available.
Yeah, and any specific type of property in particular that's getting more demand than others, or?
The 1 and 2 beds are proving popular,
Yeah.
but I mean, I do have a specific requirement for a nice 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom apartment. I've got a family who are looking to move by the end of June. I also need a nice 1-bedroom, fully furnished apartment for a professional couple, again, looking to move by the end of June. Budget around about 1100, 1150. So, we've got some specific requirements out there that we'd obviously like to be able to meet.
Yeah, absolutely. And in terms of rent, so rents are holding their own. I mean, I've done a couple of appointments which have converted into let agreed. So we're getting pretty much asking price offers, would you say, at the moment?
Yes, we are. We're getting very close. Quite a few asking price offers and very close to them. So, like I said, there is not the downward pressure on rents that we might have expected to see.
No, absolutely. So, and yeah, just for the viewers, how many we've let? Quite a few this week, I believe, haven't we?
Yeah, in the last working week, we've actually secured lets on 11 of our properties. So, we have seen a real increase in demand, and people are, they're making quite quick decisions. And interestingly enough, some of those lets have been secured on our video viewings.
Yeah, we talked about that previously, didn't we? That, I mean,
yeah,
that's
we
been
did.
an absolute revelation, hasn't it? So
yes.
Makes such.
It also means we're also able to get out to respond to our inquiries very quickly. I think it's also time saving for those who are looking. Having a detailed video viewing with your commentaries as well on them when you're going around the properties. They're great. And it gives people a very good indication of, is the property going to be suitable for them? Are they really interested in it? So, it's time saving all round, and also it means then that we're complying with the social distancing that we need to stick to.
Yeah, and also it's less disruptive for the tenants as well who are moving out. They don't have to be sort of inundated with viewings. and have those safety issues, deal with those safety issues. So I think there's so many wins, aren't there? In terms
Oh,
of
definitely. Yes, our tenants are definitely happy that you do the video viewing, and we get that out to as many of our inquiries as possible, and it does then reduce significantly the footfall then into the property.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so we've definitely seen a massive pickup in the market, and that's encouraging. And obviously, people being able to book removals now and physically move without having to sort of worry about that has made a positive difference. So, okay, so in terms of the legislative side, I know you wanted to sort of have give us a couple of reminders or some housekeeping notes on that. What tips have you got this week?
Yeah, okay. One of the things we're looking at is our furnished properties. And just a reminder of the furniture and fire safety regulations for landlords that, their soft furnishings, their upholstered furniture, sofas, they do need those permanent labels affixed to them. So don't ever be tempted to remove them. They have to be there. And if they're not, you wouldn't be able to leave the furniture in the apartment. So that's just a sort of a simple one. The other thing actually as well, we're reminding people about, especially our let-only landlords, is compliance with the GDPR regulations. So the General Data Protection Regulation, as a let-only landlord and having access to and handling personal information, they should actually be registered with the Information Commissioners. So they should have an ICO number. So that's something that let-only landlords really do need to be aware of.
Yeah.
And finally, a little reminder again on HMO licensing and letting properties to multiple occupants. So if you've got 3 or more people who are not part of the same family household, then a HMO license, certainly across our Bath area, BA1, BA2, it is required. It's quite a straightforward process. It is lengthy, but it can all be done online, and it's it's a fairly straightforward step-by-step guide. It also means, though, that it opens up your market for your property, especially if you have a large 2-bedroom that lends itself to sharers, and also a 3-bedroom as well.
Yeah, absolutely, and that's something which we can help people through, can't we? In terms of getting paperwork, the necessary paperwork together to submit to the council.
Absolutely, yes. Yeah, we provide the documentation onto our landlord, and our landlords actually make the actual online application with our local authority.
Yeah, sure. So you mentioned about some requirements for tenants. We've got, obviously we're getting a lot of inquiries. Have people missed out on things? I know we've let a couple of properties down at Southgate very quickly, haven't we? The modern purpose-built apartments, they seem to go.
We have, yeah. If we probably had upwards of a dozen or more inquiries for both of our really lovely 2-bedroom apartments that were in the Southgate development. So if there are any landlords out there who have got a 2-bedroom apartment, Southgate, Phillip House, but on the Southgate development, if they know they've got one coming available, we've been securing very good rents for them. And as I said, the inquiries have come in and they have been letting very, very quickly.
Yeah, and in particular, great. And in terms of rental price, I think we touched on it. They're holding up at the moment. You wouldn't recommend, if somebody has had their property sat empty for a little while, what would your advice be?
I think if we have had a property that has been available for a few weeks, then it might be worth considering taking a look at the rent, but only probably marginally, and we could do sort of a change around on photographs. But I think it's most properties are getting a good number of inquiries, and if they're not, then it could well be that we do have to look at the actual asking rent on the property.
Yeah, fair enough. It's it's avoiding that void period, which is key, isn't it? Because that becomes more costly in the long term.
It is, and trying to avoid the void at the moment, using the video viewings and just making sure that we can sort of get as many inquiries out as possible, and we know that there are active applicants who are looking. So if something is sticking a little, then the price may need to be looked at. But in the main, majority of our properties are, achieving on what we're asking.
Yeah, no, that's fair enough. So current properties available at the moment, how many are we currently holding?
We have got 16 available, but as I said, we have actually also let 11 in the last week. So that's 11 on top of the 16 we have available. But, because the market now is moving, notices are coming in from tenants, but also inquiries are coming in from new landlords. So we've got new stock also coming to the market, as well as existing properties that we manage. But as I said, the moment we are given notice, then, we're liaising with tenants, you're doing the video viewings, and we're getting the inquiries answered, and getting the interest generated so that, we can keep the void to an absolute minimum. I know we've got a couple of properties coming up in the next month or so that I think the void on them, we're doing sort of a 1 or 2 day turnaround on those. So the void is absolutely at a minimum, and that's where we sort of, we aim to achieve that where we absolutely can.
Yeah. And I mean, again, something which we touched on previously, rents are still coming through fine, aren't they? We haven't, with lockdown easing now, that we're not facing the same issues that we were considering that we might face a month or so ago.
No, I mean, there's probably been no more than, I think, 3 or 4 out of the portfolio that we manage where we've had to do a little bit of negotiating between the landlord and tenant just to make things a little bit easy for them for a few months. But in the main, even with, furloughed, tenants are meeting their obligations. And I think that was probably a bigger concern, when we first went into it. But no, it's it's not come to fruition that we have had, any major impact on the rent payments.
Yeah. So literally sort of business as well as normal as it can be, I guess, at the moment.
Yes, I think we're
on the sales side as well. We have also been noticing that more buy-to-let investors are sort of coming back into the market, which is interesting. So all good.
Yeah, okay, it's definitely a good time, I think. If there are purchasers out there who are looking for, I know that we've got some nice properties coming available, and I think that we've also got some that are already tenanted as well. So they would be an ideal opportunity to look at. Tenants, in some of those properties, quite happy to stay, and and they've been really great.
Fantastic. Okay, well, it's Friday afternoon. Thank you ever so much for that time. As I said, it's just a quick catch up. We're obviously delighted with how things are sort of going at the moment. As I said, it's been a very interesting few months for everybody, but certainly on the letting side, things are returning to normality, which is definitely encouraging. So, thanks once again, Nicola, for your time.
That's okay, no problem at all.
Speak soon. Okay,
okay,
thanks everybody.
That's great. Thanks, Sam. Bye.
Bye.